Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Poet Minor Podcast. I'm your host, Poet Minor. Today, my special guest is Kathleen Walton. Ms. Walton is a certified transformational mindset and wellness coach. She's also a founding ambassador for the Napoleon Hill Institute. Her company is Whispers Within Us. Kathleen's mission is to help up-level women's lives physically, mentally, and spiritually. Welcome to the show, Kathleen.
Thank you, Poet. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm glad you're here too. We got a lot to get into. So let's start with this so the audience can get to know you. Your story starts when you got divorced, and during that time, you realized you had no clear direction to move forward in your life. Talk to us about those moments and how going through those moments, you found your direction in life.
Absolutely. I was divorced and went into a very serious depression for a couple weeks. Literally was getting up and walking my dog and taking her back to the apartment that I was temporarily in and going back to sleep. And one morning, I literally caught myself in the mirror brushing my teeth. And it's like I had to take a second look and I'm like, get your shit together. Pardon my language, but I'm like, get it together. This is ridiculous. Nobody is allowed to have power over you like this. You have to find your way. So from there, I had already kind of started a self-development journey a little bit. I have was in the process of getting my yoga certification. So from there, I just went down the self-development rabbit hole, I call it. I just anything self-development I could find, I was reading about it, I was listening to it, all the things. And then I found this mentor of mine that came along. Her program just kept popping. I didn't know her from Adam. Her program just kept popping up in my social media feed. And finally, one day, I'm like, what is this all about? So I set up a discovery call with her and met with her. We talked, and she took me under her wings. I joined her program, met a whole bunch of really amazing people, just kind of found my power again, like finding myself on what direction I wanted to go. And it kept coming up as so I'm a meditator, I'm a yogi, and when I would do those practices, I would get downloads that I'm meant to inspire people. I'm here on this earth to inspire people. What that meant or what that looked like, I didn't know, but I was willing to find out. So that just kind of started my journey into the world of self-development, which led me to NHI and coaching. And from there, I just found my direction. To inspire people through my coaching.
Okay. When did you start with NHI, Napoleon Hill Institute? When did you
The
start?
Napoleon Hill Institute, I started late January of 2023. So kind of when they first hit the ground opening their doors. And that again was through my mentor. She was becoming part of the Napoleon Hill Institute. And she's like, well, do you want to be part of it? I'm like, yeah. And so just because I believed in everything she put out there, I signed up and the journey began to become a Napoleon Hill certified coach.
That's awesome. Yeah. When we talked during our pre-interview, you talked about how it was through coaching, movement, and practice you discovered happiness and confidence. What kind of coaching, movement and practice did you do?
Okay, so coaching for me, as far as what I help people with, is kind of like a mindset coaching, just helping them find their purpose and get their mindset right. But with my yoga certification that I have, meditation has become a huge platform for me as far as getting downloads from my guides, the universe, whatever you want to call it. Everyone's higher power is different. So through yoga practice is how you can balance your chakras on a regular basis. So my yoga practice became very important to me because I just couldn't, like I was just seeing things in just such a different light with my yoga practice. And then bringing the meditation in with it and then learning how to help people find their mindset in a right place, of finding their purpose and their direction in life, like I had to find for myself. It just kind of all fell together. It all works together
Yeah. Did you meditate before your divorce or afterwards you started?
after.
Okay. So that was the medicine for you, the meditation and the yoga.
Yep, 100%.
Okay. All right. So, what are some of the services that you offer divorced women, and why these particular services?
So I have a Mrs. to Miss program, and it's not all divorced women, but it's a majority of divorced women. And I help people. We have a term at Napoleon Hill Institute that we like to use called drifting. And that's where I was when I got divorced. I was no longer a couple. I was a single person. And you have to find the things that bring you joy again by yourself, right? So I kind of take these women under my wings in this program and help them find their confidence, first of all, and help them stop drifting to find their purpose, to lead them in the direction they're meant to be, uplifting other people around them, whatever that looks like for them. Everybody's different. And then with that, we also have a large group where all the women meet. So I'll do the one-on-one coaching with them, but then we have a large group that I like to call a mastermind because then the women can talk to each other and they can help each other with their own stories, which I think are so important.
Yeah. But I want to go back to the divorce only because I don't want to make it seem like it was just a simple thing because you had to go through a process to get to
Yes.
where you are today. So, not to get into any of the details, but how long was that process and how deep did you have to go within yourself to come up out of it?
Yeah, it was a couple years and it was a lot of really trying to figure out who I was, down to the simple things of what are my favorite things to do. Because we all have things that occupy our time, but you lose that when you get in a relationship and you become a couple. Sometimes you forget your self-care on yourself, which I'll never do again, which also are the things that bring you joy. Whatever you're doing for yourself also are things that bring you joy, and you lose those sometimes. So I really had to go back to like the basics, do I like to go for walks? I know that sounds ridiculous, but do I? Or am I a runner? Some people are runners. I am not a runner, by the way. Just to sit in your thoughts is really hard when you're going through what I like to call traumatic or tower moments in your life. And divorce is a huge tower moment. It's a tower that is in the sky and it is breaking down, right? It's a tower moment.
Mhm.
So when you're going through things like that, it is hard to sit still in your peace. It is hard to sit still in your thoughts, but it is also so important to do those things because that is when you are connected to your higher power, and that's when you need to listen.
Yeah, and that's what you'll be teaching the women,
Well, yes.
how to find
Yep.
yourself, because now you're uncoupled. So now you have to find who you are.
Correct.
Wow, that's powerful. Okay. So now tell us about your books, The Circle of One, um,
Okay.
that you collaborated with someone. Am I
Yep.
correct with
Yes. Yes. So that was a collaboration book, and there's several stories in it. So there will be three volumes. I was in volume one. So there's 33 stories. 33 people put their healing story in there. Mine was about my divorce. So everybody would put a story in there about something they went through in their life, which again, I'll just call a tower moment to keep it simple, and how they healed themselves from that. And with that, then we each wrote like a healing prayer. There's an oracle card that comes with the book and a little book that explains what the different oracle cards are. Yeah, it was an amazing process. So I'm just one little chapter in that big pool of stories, but if anyone ever can get their hands on it, the stories in that book are phenomenal. And you can buy them on my website. I know Amazon has them too. Um, they're just such healing. They're healing stories for people that really need to know there's other people out there. Like you're not alone, right? There's other people out there going through the same struggles.
how did you get connected with the people that's doing the book?
So the mentor of mine that I talked about previously, I joined her program and then she got me into NHI when she was getting into NHI, Napoleon Hill Institute. It's actually a passion project of hers.
Ah, okay.
So she'd asked if I wanted to be part of it, and I said absolutely. And it was such a fun process that I went on to doing another book on my own that's my own. So yeah, I just really enjoyed the process.
And what's your book?
So the book I have that will be out on a portal date because I am a little woo, I'm not gonna lie. 10/10, it will be released. It's currently taking you can actually sign up the pre-order right now, but it's called Whispers Within Us. And it is a spiritual book, and it just talks about calling you to listen to the signs, all the signs, your inner signs, which is your intuition, that cardinal that lands on your patio when you're outside having a cup of coffee. It means something. Those signs mean something to everybody. And what I tell people, because people get a little confused by how do I know if the sign is for me? Well, what I do is I Google it. Red male cardinal landed next to me while I was drinking my cup of coffee. And it will usually give you like 4 or 5 different descriptions. And if one of those descriptions are resonating with you, that means that sign was for you. Your higher power is trying to tell you something. And people just don't listen. Like they don't see the signs every day in their life. The monarch butterfly that lands next to them, the swarm of dragonflies that shows up out of nowhere. A lot of them are nature signs, but they can also be, you need to know something. You go to bed at night and you ask your higher power, you're like, I need an answer on this. I need you to show me a purple sports car by noon tomorrow. You're at a stoplight, purple sports car goes driving by. There's your sign. So it just kind of goes into how people can listen to the signs. There are stories I realized about 10 years ago I was an intuitive. I didn't know what that was. Somebody called me out on it when I was at something. She's like, "Oh, you're one of those." And I'm like, I said, "One of what?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "You're an intuitive." And I'm like, "Oh." And not knowing what that meant, I walked away completely confused.
Mhm.
So I started looking into it and I'm like, okay, I pick up on energies and I see it in my son. I've seen it in him since he was probably 12 years old. I see it in him so much, but the book has stories in it that I remember from a young child. I didn't know what they meant then, but those stories have stuck with me for a reason. It's because it was my higher power talking to me through like audible signs, the inner signs, whatever it is. And I just think that people need to know that you're not crazy. You are talking to your higher power. You just don't know that what that means to you. So I have a book coming out to help people kind of like segue through all that and understand it a little bit better. And I just hope it helps people.
I think so. What does Whispers Within Us mean? That's your
All
company
right.
name?
So, oh, go ahead, honey.
No, no, I said that's your company name and the name of your book.
Yes, yes. Okay. So when I was going, or after my divorce, I'm sorry, after my divorce, I had my dog Miko, who has been with me since she was a puppy, and I would take her for walks on this path. And literally one day I got an audible whisper. I don't get a lot of audible whispers, but there's an eagle nest down on this path, and every spring they have a little flock of babies, and an eagle feather came floating down, and it hit the walkway in front of me. And I reached down and I picked it up. And as I was standing up, I heard whispers within us. Like I literally heard it like somebody was standing next to me. It like literally gave me goosebumps and freaked me out all at the same time. So I took the feather and I set it next to a tree because we can't keep eagle feathers, you're not supposed to anyway. But I thought, well, I'm just going to leave it in nature. So I set it next to a tree. And as I was backing away from a tree, I heard it again. And I literally looked around me and was like, is somebody down here? And so I kept walking, and then all of a sudden it was like, well, I'm just going to put it in my phone. Maybe it means something. So I typed it into my phone. And then a year later, starting my coaching business, I'm like, I need to come up with a name. And right away, I went back to that day on the path of walking and that coming to me, and that's where the name came from. And again, it's the whole intuition thing, right? You have to listen to the whispers. They're not always within you. Sometimes they're out in nature, sometimes they're out and about, right? But a lot of your whispers you get are your intuition talking to you.
When you're teaching that to women, how do they take that in? Do they think it's woo-woo stuff or do
I
they
think
connect with you on that? Excuse me.
I do feel that some of them, if they're a little more left-brained, because I'm pretty right-brained and more of a creative, um, probably do take it as a little bit more woohoo, but I also connect it to their higher power. So if their higher power is God or the divine or the universe, whatever their higher power is to them, I connect it to that, and that they can relate to and they can understand a little better. So when I'm telling them it's their inner whispers or their intuition, it's God talking to you. It, God's got a message for you, or your guides, people that have transitioned over, they have a message for you. So in that way, they can understand it and they follow it a lot better, to the point where they wanna connect, right? They want all the whispers to come to them.
Yeah, I like that. Can we just touch on three of your mindsets and you can help hopefully walk us through it? You I'm going to touch on the money mindset. Tell us about that.
Okay, so like the money mindset, as we all know, we all have those paradigms. I have them when I was growing up. My dad would always say, we grew up with a single dad, and he would always be like, money does not grow on trees, girls. We needed a pair of shoes for gym class or whatever. So, what us adults don't realize is when we tell children that, that sticks in them, right?
Yes.
So, so they don't want to spend. They're afraid to spend, or, you watch your parents struggle, so then you think life is all about struggle. You're not supposed to have a savings account. You're supposed to struggle every day. So the money mindset is breaking those paradigms, breaking them down so you can live an abundant life because we are all welcome and allowed to all the abundance our higher power wants us to have, right? If
Yes.
that's in relationships, physical money, having a beautiful home, whatever that looks like, whatever abundance looks like to us as individuals. So we just need to break down those paradigms. And a lot of that we do with autosuggestion, just planting those affirmations in our heads that are positive. And it's, you know what? Live that lifestyle, feel it real. Live the lifestyle of being able to go out to eat a couple times a week
Yes.
or treating yourself to coffee with girlfriends a few days a week or whatever it looks like. So that's the biggest money mindset is getting your head right, your mindset right around money. It's fluid. It comes and it goes.
When you're working with women, do you find it's a hard topic for them, the money mindset?
It can be for sure. And I do believe that a lot of women still live under that whole premise that, especially if they're divorced and their husbands took care of all the financing, they live under that premise that they don't understand financing and they don't understand money. When all reality, it's just because that power was kind of squashed for them, right? That power was taken from them for a while, but now they have to do it. So let's empower you. Let's help you figure out how to manage your money and do it in a successful way where you can have a savings account or invest or whatever that looks like.
Yeah. Does self-esteem, excuse me, as a mindset and the money mindset sort of go together?
Yes, absolutely they do. I think people that have a good self-esteem and can hold their head high when they go into a store and they want to buy, I don't know, they're buying a new handbag, right? And handbags aren't always cheap, but they're going in to buy a new handbag and they can do that with confidence. Like, I deserve this. I deserve this new handbag. So 100% that mindset with the being confident, they go hand in hand.
Okay. So with the women, I'm just going to go back to divorce. So they have the life after divorce. They have to build up their self-esteem. They have to work on their money mindset. The meditation will help. How do you encapsulate all of that for them? Because that's a lot.
Well, you do it in steps, right? So we start out with the program, we just start out doing things in steps. First of all, getting their vision in place is such a big thing. It was for me. You have to know where you're going. If you don't know where you're going, it's one of those where all the distractions in life pull you in different directions. But if you have a vision and you're like, okay, so I'm over here and I'm at point A, but I want to get to point B. Someday I'll hit point C, but right now I want to get to point B. You have to have that vision. What does that look like? What are you striving towards? And once we get that vision in place, then you start to like implement all the other things. So it's a stepping process. It's a stepping process. It's like kind of crossing a river and you have to step on the stones. You can only step on one at a time or you're going to
Exactly.
fall.
Okay. So I mentioned that you're also a member of Napoleon Hills. Did I mention that you're Napoleon Hills? You're in the Women's Collective of Napoleon Hill Institute.
I don't think we talked about that yet.
Okay, are you one of the founding members?
I am.
Okay,
Yep.
tell the audience about that, what that is and what it's about.
Okay, so the Women's Collective, we started it out as No Woman is Left Behind. It's for all women. It's for women that stay home with their kids. It's for the CEO that runs a large company. It's for the entrepreneurs that just need someone to lean on. So it's for all women. And the vision for the Women's Collective is to help all these women find their confidence, find their power, find their voices so they can move forward in their lives and just own their reality. They can own it, they can live it, they can feel it. You know, I always say it's so important to have that emotion when you're like trying to see your vision. You have to have the emotion and you have to feel it. Because if you can have the emotion and you can feel it, you will get it because you already know what it feels like.
Yeah, feelings gets the blessings. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, what would you like to leave us with today?
I want to,
I'm sorry, besides letting us know where to contact you, but what would you like to leave us with today?
I just want to leave all of you with be gentle with yourselves because life is not a race, it's a journey. And when you're gentle with yourself and you can guide yourself, you will get through that journey, we'll just say one step at a time and live your best life. So that's what I want to leave everybody with for sure. Be gentle with yourself.
And they can contact you at whisperswithinus.com. Is that it?
Yep. Yep. And then all my social medias are on there and everything. So yeah.
Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. I appreciate it.
And thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Anytime. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. See you at the next show.